What happened in the 200 milliseconds before your Lambda runs? MicroVMs, runtime APIs, hidden pollers, and a new feature that pushes Lambda to a full year. Let's open the box. Every Lambda function you deploy runs inside something called a worker host. That's just an EC2 instance, a bare metal Nitro box, managed by AWS in a shared pool of thousands. Inside each worker, AWS runs Firecracker, their open source virtualization engine written in Rust. Its job is one thing: spin up tiny, fully isolated virtual machines in about 125 milliseconds. Those tiny VMs are called microVMs. Each one has its own kernel, its own file system, its own network, a complete sandbox. And here's the key rule: one microVM runs exactly one function, one concurrent slot. That's it. When a request arrives, AWS routes your code into a microVM, and your handler starts executing. That microVM then stays leased to your function for up to 14 hours. Then AWS kills it and spin up a fresh one. So, same function, different microVMs, all the time. That's the foundation. Now let's see what actually happened across a microVM life. Every microVM goes through 4 phases: an init, AWS downloads the runtime and your deployment package from S3 or ECR, bootstrap the execution environment. This is the slow part. Then invoke. Your handler finally runs init plus the first invoke, and that's known as a cold start. Every invocation after that is going to reuse that environment. No init cost. A cold start can be a second or more. A warm invocation is a couple of milliseconds. That's the gap you feel in production. After a few minutes of idle, AWS shuts the environment down. Next request, cold start again, and the cycle repeats. Lambda doesn't just get called one way. There are 3 different invocation patterns, and each one behaves totally different. First, synchronous, the caller wait. Think API gateway in front of Lambda. The client holds the connection until your handler returns a response. Second, asynchronous, fire and forget. The caller, S3, SNS, event bridge, drops an event at Lambda's door and walks away. Lambda queues it internally and processes it on its own schedule. Third, event source mapping, or ECM. This one's backwards. You have a stream or a queue, Kinesis, DynamoDB stream, SQS. Lambda pulls it for you, patch the records and invoke your handler. 3 pattern, 3 sets of retry rules, scaling behavior and failure modes. We are going through each one. Let's trace a synchronous invocation end to end inside AWS infrastructure, step by step. Step 1, your request hits the front-end service. This is the public entry point for the Lambda API. It validates your auth, checks throttling limits, resolves which function version to invoke. Step 2, the front end forwards the request to the worker manager. Worker manager job is to find warm microVM that's already running your function, so we can skip the cold start entirely. Step 3, if there's no warm environment, which is what cold start actually means, the worker manager calls the placement service. Placement picks a worker host, provisions a microVM, and reserve it for your function. Step 4, init runs inside that microVM, runtime download, your handler code loaded, module imports executed. This is the slow part of a cold start, and it only happens once per microVM. Step 5, your handler finally executes. It gets the event payload, does it works, return a result. Step 6, the response travel back, microVM to worker manager, to front-end service, to the caller. And remember, from here, that microVM is warm. Next synchronous invocation, skip placement entirely. Worker manager goes straight to the same microVM. Async is different. The front end doesn't wait. It hands the event to an internal SQS queue that AWS manages on your behalf. Interruption in transit with TLS, interruption at rest with server-side interruption. You never touch this queue. It's Lambda internal plumbing. A fleet of EC2 poolers pull from that queue and re-invoke your Lambda, synchronous behind the scenes. When the handler succeeds, great, message acknowledged, and it's gone. But when it fails, Lambda retries twice by default with exponential backoff. And if all three attempts fails, the event lands in your dead letter queue, known as DLQ. That's the backstop, where events go when everything else has failed, and it only works if you configure it. Sync and async both push event into Lambda, but there's a third pattern where Lambda pulls. Let's go there. This is event source mapping, ECM, and it's the one people get burned by most. For stream sources like Kinesis and DynamoDB streams, Lambda run a fleet of pullers on your behalf that long pull the stream, read records in patches, and invoke your handler. Two knobs control dispatch, the patch size and the patch window. Whichever threshold trips first, send the patch. Here, the size hit 5 records before the window closed. Every time a patch succeeds, Lambda advances a checkpoint on that chart, the last sequence number it processed. That's how it knows where to resume. If your function is too slow, iterator age climbs, the gap between the newest record in the stream and the oldest one you haven't processed yet. That's the metric that tells you are falling behind. Now, the foot gun. By default, if one record in a patch fails, the entire patch gets retried. Duplicates, head offline blocking, your stream stall. The fix is one line in your handler. Return patch item failures with just the IDs of the record that actually failed. Only those records retry, the rest move forward. Every scene so far showed the microVM as a green box. Let's open it. Inside, two things, a runtime process and the local HTTP server sitting right next to it. That HTTP server is the Runtime API, and the runtime, it's just an HTTP client. Loop, get next, run handler, post response. For endpoint, a get/next, a post/response, a +2 for errors. We will come back to those. First phase, init. The runtime imports your handler once and caches it in memory. Now, invoke. The runtime calls get/next and blocks. When an event arrives, the response includes a request ID, a deadline, the function ARN, and the event body. Your handler runs, and it returns value goes back as a post/response. Then it loops. Same process, no re-import. That's why warm invocation are milliseconds. Every managed runtime, every custom runtime, every container image has the same loop. When the environment goes ideal, Lambda tears it down, a set term to the runtime, then it's gone. Next invocation hits a fresh microVM with a cold start. Two error paths. If the runtime cannot load your handler at init with bad import or missing model, it posts to /init/error. The environment is terminated. But if your handler throws a mid-invocation, like a database error or an uncached exception, or a downstream failure, it posts to /invocation/id/error. The runtime survives and goes right back to get/next. The same loop goes on with another event. At reInvent 2025, AWS shipped two features that genuinely changed what Lambda can do. The first one is managed instances. Classic Lambda give you one microVM per concurrent invocation. Instant scaling, scale to 0, but every microVM is its own machine. Managed instances flips that. You get a dedicated EC2 instance, each running the Lambda runtime, and many invocations share the same instance. You still write Lambda code, you still deploy it the same way, but now you get EC2 pricing, you can lock in with saving plans, a warm pool that eliminates cold starts, and Graviton support for ARM. One catch: scaling is asynchronous, not instant. It's CPU based, so managed instance is for steady, predictable traffic, not bursty. Persistent connections finally make sense. Database pooling through RDS proxy actually holds no more connection exhaust. The second feature, which is durable function. Classic Lambda caps out at 15 minutes per invocation. Durable function pushes that to a full year. You write your handler as steps, short units of work. Between them you call wait, pause for 30 days, wait for an approval, sleep a week. During the wait you pay zero compute, only cheap storage to hold the checkpoint. Sagas, human approvals, long-running AI workflow, all inside Lambda. So which one do you reach for? If your workload is busty and short-lived, unpredictable spike, event-driven, stateless APIs, that's a classic Lambda. Per millisecond billing, instant scale, scales to zero, the original pattern still wins for this. If your workload is steady and the connection heavy, think WebSocket, persistent database, pools, predictable traffic, that's managed instances, EC2 pricing, no cold start, dedicated compute. And if your workload is multiple step, things that wait, things that retry for days, that's durable functions, up to a year per execution, zero cost while waiting, 3 flavors, 1 runtime model. Everything you just saw lives inside one layered system. MicroVMs are ephemeral. The runtime is just an HTTP client. ECM hides its own poolers, and in 2025, AWS broke the 15-minute selling wide open. Serverless isn't about no servers, it's about AWS running them for you.